Okay, greetings, younglings, Padawans, and Jedi Knights. It is I, the Grand Master Jeddalo, here to give you another lesson in the ways of the Force. And yes, what you're seeing right here in front of you is a Source Filmmaker. I'm currently working on something in Source Filmmaker. So, yes, working on a Halloween Machinima, which will have elements of Source Filmmaker and Gary's mod in it. So it's not going to be all Gary's mod, it's not going to be all Source Filmmaker. Having right now somebody teaching me how to do Source Filmmaker, so I don't know if he's going to watch this. He probably is, so shout out to Meme Alert for helping me with Source Filmmaker. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, so I can't shout out his YouTube channel. I can only shout out his name, but he's helping me with this. So right now, I don't know what that light is way over there in the corner. I have no fucking idea what that is. The map I'm on is actually Black Void. There's a light here, as you guys can see. There's a light, a couple lights over here. There's one right here, shining that way. There's another one up here, right there, shooting down. There's another one over here, shooting this way, I believe, to give you that eerie feeling. And I've got two inside. I've got one here in the living room area and stuff, as you can see, and then I've got the one from up top and on the side that's creating this light coming in like this, trying to get the lighting just right, what you saw in the movie. And then of course over here is the another light where Judith is going to be. Yes, I know it's not the same desk. It's a vanity desk, which is in Source Filmmaker. But the problem is that let me just put this out in the open. There, it doesn't make any difference if you use Source Filmmaker or Gary's mod. There is no way to do reflections, at least with mirrors. There's no way to do it. Maybe there is. I just don't know how. But as far as I know, there's no way to do reflections in anything. Not in windows, not in mirrors, nothing. So this is what I've used. And yes, I probably could use the vanity desk, but the only problem is that, okay, here, this mirror, this is actually supposed to be a mirror. This mirror actually is black. It's black on both sides. So it doesn't really matter. But with the vanity one, yes, it has that big circular thing, but the problem is there's nothing inside of it. There's nothing there. It's just there, so to say. So yeah, nothing I can really do about that. I mean, I'll probably go ahead and show you guys in a minute here, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys. Now you probably can't see much of what I put together because, well, obviously we're in the Black Void map on Source Filmmaker, and the shadows are enabled. So let's disable the shadows. There. Now you guys can see exactly what I've built and what I've put together. I'm going to have to rearrange. This is for the opening shot. Going to have to rearrange some stuff for the next shot. So, but yeah, this is what I'm working on. So let's take a look at everything. You can see that I put a house here. Yes, this is from Friday the 13th. It's supposed to be a little shack here. I did originally want to have the Higgins Haven cabin, the lodge from Higgins Haven right here next to that house, but the problem is it was as small as this car. Everything is small. I don't know why. So the shack, this and Jason's shack, from what I'm assuming just by looking at this, are the correct heights. Everything else is very, very small. There could be a way to make it bigger in Source Filmmaker, but again, I don't know that. So if there is, I have no idea. So this is hatchback. Let's go inside. I'll show you everything. Let's start with up here. As you know, this room is going to be vacant. There's not going to be anything in here because the camera, when I do the final thing, is never going to go in here. It's never going to see what's in this room. You'll only pass by it. So, that'll be completely empty. There's a grandfather clock here, because as he's going up the stairs in the movie, you hear something from what I'm assuming is a grandfather clock, so I put one there. I got a bed here. This is actually for those that don't know, this is actually supposed to be 2 rooms. So if anyone's going to complain about, oh, it doesn't look exactly like the movie, how you doing? This is from Dead by Daylight. So they didn't make the Dead by Daylight house to look exactly like the house in the movie. There's elements that have been changed. And I'll go over those elements in just a minute here. So as you can see, I got a bed, chair. On the desk here we got lipstick and a pair of scissors. The brush will be added at a later date, because that's going to be part of the animation. And then, okay, so going back into the downstairs area, as you can see I got some stuff set up. Going back to what I was saying, how this house is inaccurate to the thing. Well, first let me first point out the one obvious difference is that there's two doorways here to the same room. But technically these are 2 different rooms. Technically, in the movie, Michael Myers comes up the stairs, goes into his bedroom, and then goes through another door that's attached, that's separating his room from Judith's room. So technically, there's supposed to be 2 different rooms here. But since they kind of just, they didn't build this to scale for the game, it is what it is. So this is technically going to be Judith's room. I know it's kind of big room for Judith, but again, it's not built to scale. Same thing down here. There's a doorway right here in the movie that leads to another room. Obviously, that is not here in the game. This is Dead by Daylight, so they did not acquire for there to be a door right here. Same thing over here. You guys can see all the work I put in. Now, the reason why there's a table and chairs right here next to the couch and whatnot is because this is supposed to be 3 different rooms. The kitchen, let me show you guys the kitchen. See, this is taken from Dead by Daylight, so this area here, which you will not see in the movie, leads down to the basement. There's supposed to be stairs. There is no basement here. See, there's nothing. So this would lead down into the basement. Why there's a basement here, I have no idea, but that's what they put here. I have no idea what this room is supposed to be in the movie. That's just what they have here. Now, the kitchen, as you can see, of course, yes, there is no knife right now. The knife will be added later on at a later date because it's part of the animation. The kitchen is supposed to be the first thing you see when you walk in, and then you go into a dining room area. You go through another room into the dining room. Then you go through another room into the living room. And then as Michael turns, and Judith's boyfriend comes down the stairs, there's another room, which is so there's a hallway. So there's a hallway here next to the stairs, and then there's a room where the living room's at. There's a doorway where you walk into the living room. As you can see, this is Dead by Daylight. Again, I have to keep saying this because I know somebody in the comments will go, well, it's, like I said, Dead by Daylight. They didn't build it to the movie standards. I mean, maybe someday somebody will build or construct a Myers house that is appropriate to the film and has all the correct rooms. But until that day, this is what I've got to work with. So, yeah, you can see I got chairs here. I'm just playing this off as this is a miniature record player. This is a mini one, supposedly. At least that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going with. But this is actually taken from Friday the 13th. This should be a lot bigger. It's not. So that's just how it is. They didn't. Again, I don't know what happened when they poured over stuff from other games, but sometimes the props shrink down. So this is supposed to be a lot bigger. At least should come up to about, maybe I'd say around this middle shelf here. Somewhere around there. Maybe a little short, a little smaller, a little bigger, I don't know. Around this middle shelf, that's how big it's supposed to be, but again, it was ported over, and I don't know why they all shrank down, so there's nothing I can do about that. That's also why there's no doors, because, you can't have a door. I mean, again, the whole reason why I subscribe to the Friday the 13th stuff, I mean, there's a rocking chair. It kind of looks the same size as the couch, sort of, so it kind of works. It's just a small rocking chair. But when I subscribed to the Friday the 13th props in the game, I was under the impression that they would be as big as the other ones. So I figured, okay, so I'll just use one of the doors for that here. Again, the door was so small it didn't even take up the whole doorway. Again, I looked for other doors for, I found some Outlast doors. I thought, okay, well, that'll work. I can, slap one of those on. Same problem. The door is so small, it doesn't take up the whole doorway. And I can't have the door being blocked off on the night he kills Judith. So, unfortunately, there's not going to be any doors. I've looked for doors in Source Filmmaker Workshop. There's no doors. At least none that will accompany this house or these houses. So, again, I have to reiterate that because people in the comments section will go, oh, there's no doors. Why don't people just run out the house because there's no doors? Well, there's none ported over that'll fit, that'll work. So, there's nothing I can do. So, that's just how it is. But as you guys can see, this is what I've been working on. This is what I've been doing. I do have GM Flatgrass where I have to set up the outside again, at least most of the outside. So I have to take photographs of what I have here and transfer them over to the other thing. So I got, the short ones here. I got a long one here, a couple short ones. I didn't realize I could do the short ones. I mean the long ones, so I gotta make it look nice and presentable. So, things like this, that's gonna happen a lot where the thing just doesn't, it matches up on some things, but it doesn't match up on other things. So, again, but this is going to be the night version. You're not going to see that. I'm going to have to retweak that for The one I'm on, I have to save a couple times to adjust the lighting, adjust the props, because I don't want to have to set all this up again just for the night shots. I had to set up at least the outside again for the intro. I mean, for the one day shot where they walk by the house. So I had to set that up for that. Again, I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. That's what I want to say. I don't know how many more trees I'm going to put up because this is just what I have for the night shot. So you won't even see this tree. This tree is here for the... This is where he starts from. And he peeks out and he sees the house and he crosses the street. He goes over to the house. I thought it was going to be this tree, but apparently it wasn't. You see the road a little bit, so it's going to have to be that tree over there that he starts from. So this tree and these trees are just for, lighting purposes and just to make it a little bit more spooky, but I still have to put them back up in their spots for when I do the day shot for which I'm setting up. Of course, day shots, I'm not putting up these interiors again. And I will have to retweak this one again, this particular one, under another save so I can get rid of all the props inside for when Loomis and Sheriff Brackett come in to investigate the place, because that way it's supposed to be empty. So, but yeah, let's end off with putting the lighting back on. So there you go. So this is what I'm working on, Padawans. I just wanted to give you all a little update on what I'm working on. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys see that I'm working on this. This is not only using Source Filmmaker for the Halloween Machinima. I will be using a lot of Source Filmmaker for something else. That's why I'm learning. I'm not going to say what that is yet, because I want that to be a surprise for a later date. But it is something I am working on. So this is what's going to be taking up a lot of my time, just working on this. So like I said, I know I said before, I'm going to be doing indie horror games for the channel. I might replay Deadpool for the channel. But like I said, I'll be working on this mainly, so don't expect those videos to, always come out. Don't expect them to be a frequent occurrence, because I am devoting my time to doing this. So yeah, just wanted to touch base with all of you and let you know what I was up to and what I'm doing. So yeah, that's all I've got to say, Padawans. Thank you to those who tuned in to watch this. I do want to end off by saying I will be filming myself putting up the props. I have a couple videos, or will have a video of setting up this. Not all of it, because I didn't think to film it, but a lot of the things you see inside the house, I did record putting up. Some things here in the house, including the kitchen over there, I did film. But that's only going to be for Patreon members. So if you're a Jedi, unless you're a Jedi Knight or Jedi Master tier on Patreon, you will not see me setting those up. But I'll give you updates. I'll do public updates like this once I feel everything has been set up and I'm happy with what I have set up and how it looks. So I'll give you those type of updates. But anything like me setting things up, gonna have to go to Patreon for that. But, yeah, but don't worry, you guys will still see updates and whatnot, so I will still do public updates. So, until then, until the next video, my younglings and Padawans, remember, the Force will be with you, always.